What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about SoundHound. They hit a massive home run today. I want to go over some of the current data points and break it down what might be coming next. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So today it did go up 24.82% after hours, currently up 12.02%, and it did have a high just shy of about $10.60. So this is one of the best stocks out there, momentum plays, but at the same time, there's a lot of substance to the stock. So right now, tons of volume getting in. 167.64 million shares have been traded so far today. 82.6 is the average. So when it comes down to big money over the last about 5 or 6 trading days, they have been getting into SoundHound like it is the next big thing. So at the same time though, you also have shorts increasing their position, which makes this stock very kind of appealing to a lot of different investors. Because on one side, you have the AI play. Second side, you have more of a short squeeze play. So this is why a lot of people are really focused on SoundHound. And so again, these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. And these are some of the transactions that did occur on the dark pool. So dark pool very much linked to shorting and many other things. So this was very, very active today, as you can kind of see, even more than the 250 max I can show you. So aside from all of that though, there was a couple of different things that was affecting SoundHound today. So starting off, leading into today, the technicals were looking very optimistic. And that's one thing I've been speaking on over the last several videos. Ever since it did break above that 560 mark, I said that $8 was going to come. And lo and behold, that is exactly what did happen today. So hopefully you guys have been paying attention to a lot of my SoundHound videos. But one thing that did come out near Power Hour was this. So European Union passed its first global AI regulation. So this could really help and really propel AI. And so again, going into tomorrow, you're going to see NVIDIA's and, for instance, SoundHound, like those are just going to pop like crazy based off of this news. And even though essentially there was no news associated to SoundHound itself, still I feel like a lot of this external and third party kind of news is still really going to help SoundHound, because the last couple of pieces of news all do talk on SoundHound, even though they don't really reference the fundamental business itself. As far as SEC filings, there was a couple today, so 144s, 2 of them in fact. And so this individual, so I'm not going to butcher their name, but they are a 10% holder. They did sell 150,000 shares, and this individual, who is a director and officer, Home James, did sell 200,000 shares. So that is something to be aware of. I brought this up almost every single video. There has been a lot of insiders selling, as you can kind of see, 144s, Form 4s, but at the same time, big money seems to not give two shits about insider selling, because clearly SoundHound must be the next big thing. So going into tomorrow, you are going to see a nice continuation of the positive momentum, as well as people reacting to this news, and potentially PPI as well as coming out tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how that does turn out. But like I said, shorts have been really doubtful and increasing. So they did increase today, 3.64 million shares. And that brings a grand total to 35.68 million shares being shorted. 13.34% of the free float is being shorted, still on the threshold list. So it's been on the threshold list since I believe February the 23rd, as you can kind of see right here. But aside from that, cost to borrow average is 14.88% and utilization is 84.9%. So in theory, it is getting very close to that 13-day mark where the SEC is going to be coming to the market makers and telling them to rectify this deficiency. So that means shorts will be closing out some of their positions. Over and above that though, shorts doubling down, they probably are at a pretty substantial loss, especially with it having new 52-week and all-time highs being created almost every single day, hopefully going forward from here. So shorts no doubtably are going to return a ton of shares. So thus kind of kicking off a short squeeze. And plus volume, like I have notifications on my phone for unusual whales. So that is kind of right here about all the options activity. I was getting notifications for SoundHound almost every 5 minutes on whales getting into SoundHound. So today there was $44 million in calls being purchased versus 4.74 million in puts. And so for any stock, whether it be a momentum stock or anything, to go up 25% in one day, usually you see a lot of the options being very bearish as people kind of hedge, want to take profits or whatever else. But today, 52% of all the options, despite it still running up as much as it did, were optimistic and bullish. So people are anticipating big things coming for SoundHound. And then aside from that though, looking right here, essentially with SoundHound closing where it is, essentially tomorrow, you're going to see a gamma squeeze because all of these are going to be closing in the money. So meaning market makers are going to have to, on Monday, go to the open market and buy all of these shares, thus even hurting shorts so much more. So kind of interesting how all of this is playing out. As far as call options that were purchased today, there's a consensus for it to be above $9. And then looking at puts, there's a consensus for it to be sub $7. So again, I think a lot of people didn't really anticipate this news, especially the fact that it did come out near the tail end of the day. But still, all in all, I do feel like the options is very much optimistic and bullish. And so right now with it closing at 865, even after hours at 955, it is trading between this R1 and the R2. And as of right now, at the time of doing this video, it is sitting on this R2. So we'll have to wait and see how it does kind of either break above or below that. But no doubtably for tomorrow, 805 will be the next strong support. And then dependent on this, either this 954 is going to turn to support or that will be the resistance. So regardless though, technicals are looking very much primed and ready for a nice continuation of a breakout. So looking on the actual chart, what I will do is I will move this so you can kind of see. So technically it is outside the boiling band right now. And so normally, given any circumstance, it would kind of retrace back in as a result of that, unless there's some justified reason for that to kind of stay there. So in SoundHound's case, though, it's kind of an interesting momentum play because there's a lot of substance to it. It's kind of in the right sector as well. Like I said, has that kind of short squeeze aspect. So it might actually have justification to stay here. We'll just have to wait and see what the market does interpret. It might actually get dragged back down potentially into this 850 range going into tomorrow. Again, there's a lot of different circumstances that could really play out. Looking on the stochastic though, so you do see a very nice deviation. So white line above the red showing a bullish sentiment, and as well with it currently at around 65-ish, it is considered somewhat still neutral. If it does continue its run to roughly about $10, give or take, this is where it will be considered overbought. But still, overbought doesn't really mean all that much when it comes down to momentum plays, because it looks like majority of February it was considered overbought and big money didn't really seem to care one bit. Number of retail investors are getting in, and you can tell that based on the momentum indicator. So all in all, I do feel like bigger things are coming for SoundHound. So let me know your thoughts. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? Or did you do options? Like I kind of indicated, a lot of money is getting into SoundHound through options. So what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with Moo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.